Okay, so this is technically day 4 of me being sick. Uh, the background's different, and the background is different because uh, I have a co-partner who has now joined us in
Yeah.
the
So
wreckage.
so happy to be here.
So the the reason why we were isolating from each other, and I was in another room and she was in this room, but we think that we both got COVID, but it just took a little while for us to like feel symptoms for it. But even like we had been testing like with PCR test for quite some time,
My
like
PCR 2 days ago was negative.
since the 17th we were testing,
Yeah.
and I was negative until Tuesday of this week, and then because I was negative on Tuesday for the rapid test, and then I was positive the next day for the rapid test. But the PCR test from Tuesday was actually positive. So that's when I was symptomatic, I kind of knew, and that's when we were like, yeah, let's stay in different rooms or whatever. But it turns out that it takes quite some time for anybody to actually feel symptoms from COVID. So we're thinking that we got it in the same place in terms of we got it in the ER when we spent like 12 hours in the ER at Condell. So we think it's most likely because of that. But how are you feeling thus far? Because you just tested positive for the rapid test, so.
I mean, I could have told you that I was positive, like when I woke up in the middle of the night and felt like I'd been hit by a bus.
Well, you also felt symptoms like quite some time ago, didn't you, though?
I really started to feel lousy yesterday, but I kept
Right.
testing negative, kept testing negative. So I'm always so careful anyway. I'm just went about my life and wore a mask. But last night, like, I knew after school yesterday I wasn't coming back for a while. Like,
Right.
in the pit of my stomach, I knew it was coming. So I was like, I better just get things situated. I'm trying to figure out if I feel worse than last time or not. I think it's about the same.
But it's also hard to tell, right? Like
There's more coughing this time.
I just like every symptom except like the loss of taste. Like, but it was also
Please,
weird.
God, let us keep our taste.
Yeah,
That's all I have in this life.
it was just weird because like uh it was so many different symptoms that I was like overwhelmed because there was like so many different things going on. But I think also it was kind of like this is the first time that I've had COVID, so it was like annoying, but also like disappointing at the same time. But honestly, like there are so many people in the ER, and we spent so much time there that it makes sense that we would have gotten it there.
Well, and there was that little girl, like, she was so sweet and she was suffering so much she couldn't stop coughing, but like the little thing couldn't keep her mask up to save her life, and it wasn't like a particularly great mask either, so she was just sort of like coughing into the void. So I knew that in there. Didn't I turn to you and say we're probably going to get COVID?
Yeah. It was like I don't know. I don't know what I expected. It was kind of like sort of hope for the best. I mean, I was not really worried about COVID at that time. What I was like more focused on was like, can we make sure that my wife gets some treatment for the pain that she's going through. But yeah, I think that was. We'll probably quarantine for another week from other people, and we'll see how that goes. But anyways, just wanted to show like I don't know what it's like living with this, and it's definitely not a hoax. Like there are tests that actually test for this. If hers were negative and then they became positive, it's not like that we made something up that suddenly made our test go positive. Like it was all kind of like
I will say I read about this FlowFlex brand.
yeah,
That people were saying that it was detecting it earlier than the Binax and the iHealth.
yeah.
So I had the Target order, like I had her pick up one for me. Boom.
And then that one
Red.
was immediately
Red.
because
So,
all the rest of the ones that you
maybe
had
they're
were
more
like,
sensitive. I don't know. Like they had great
well,
reviews. They had
the
great
thing
reviews
is
on the
like
app.
what like some people were saying was that for some variants it may not detect for the rapid test. Now, like for PCR, it should always come back positive. Like I think they make changes to that so that it detects everything. But again, I don't know. Like the rocket testing that I was using, I technically don't know like what rapid test they were using technically. So like I didn't see any of the lines or anything.
No.
They just give you a test back that says positive or negative. So all of yours were essentially negative at that place.
Yeah. I was hoping they could verify for me this morning, and then they just
Yeah.
made me more confused.
And then, well,
I mean, they do their best, but like,
well, I mean, but
maybe
like
my
you were
specimen
saying,
wasn't good. Like, I don't know.
well, like you were saying, because like your other one was like, faints, but you could still see a line, right? And
I saw a line on both brands, but it was very faint.
right. But yeah, there's that. I probably won't shoot an update because we'll probably both just be lying in bed or watching TV or something like that.
I'm thankful I get a buddy this time.
Yeah.
It was a lonely 2 weeks last time. It was a very long 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And didn't we go like 16 days?
I don't know.
We went more
like
than 14, you and I.
I don't know.
It was a lonely time.
I don't really care what we get as a replacement, but like I need something else to sleep on.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not in college anymore. Like I don't have to make myself feel more pain. I'm gonna take painkillers
Well, the
just for
problem
my
is we had
back.
my mom's kitten, so you wouldn't have been able to sleep in the guest room either way.
You don't know that.
Were you gonna put the kitten in the basement?
Teddy and I could be best friends, COVID buddies.
Sure.
All right, see you guys.